Have you ever stood in front of the mirror and felt like your lower body was carrying more than just your physical weight? Perhaps your legs feel heavy by mid-afternoon, your hips a little tighter, or your lower back quietly complaining after long days of caring for everyone else. Maybe you've noticed a puffiness that seems to settle in your belly or ankles, no matter how carefully you eat. And deep down, it isn't just physical. It's as if those same hips and legs have been storing years of stress, worry, and unspoken emotion. You're not imagining it. For many women over 50, this is a quiet but common reality. The truth is, our bodies are incredible storytellers. For decades, they've carried children, chased careers, nurtured families, walked through joys and heartbreaks alike. But as we age, the signals become quieter and more subtle. A bit of stiffness here, a restless night there, the creeping feeling that things aren't flowing as they used to. The world doesn't often talk about this season honestly. We're told to stay active or stretch more, but no one explains what kind of movement actually helps when you're living in a body that has matured, changed, and worked so hard for so long. That's why I want to invite you into a different conversation, one that isn't about punishing workouts, complicated gym routines, or trying to do what you did at 30. Instead, it's about one small, almost secret movement that can restore ease and vitality without demanding force or perfection. A movement so gentle it feels like a sigh, yet powerful enough to help with things women rarely feel safe to discuss openly. Heaviness in the legs, bloating, pelvic discomfort, even the emotional tension you've been carrying deep in your core. This isn't about looking younger or chasing fitness trends. It's about giving back to the body that has carried you through every season of life. It's about reclaiming lightness, calm, and connection with yourself. And the beautiful part? You don't need a gym membership, expensive equipment, or even extreme flexibility. You only need a few quiet minutes and a willingness to listen inward. If any part of you longs to feel lighter, not in pounds, but in presence, stay with me. What I'm about to show you could become one of the simplest and most nourishing rituals in your daily self-care. A tiny act of kindness for your hips, back, bladder, and even your heart. Why your body feels different. After 50. When you reach your 50s and beyond, changes in your body can feel mysterious at first. One day you move with ease, and the next, there's a new heaviness in your legs, a dull ache in your hips, or a feeling that your lower back just isn't as reliable as it used to be. It's easy to think these shifts mean decline, but the truth is more hopeful. Your body is simply adapting to a new season of life. Understanding why things feel different is the first step to caring for yourself in a smarter, kinder way. One of the biggest changes is circulation. As we age, blood vessels can become a little less elastic and efficient. Combine that with long hours of sitting, driving, working, relaxing, and blood doesn't always move as freely through the pelvis and legs. When circulation slows, tissues can feel full or heavy, ankles may swell by evening, and legs might fatigue sooner. It's not that your heart isn't working, it's that the small pathways in your hips and thighs are tightening and making the journey harder. Right alongside your circulatory system is the lymphatic system, the body's silent waste and immune highway. Unlike blood, lymph has no heart to pump it. It depends on muscle movement and breath. Over time, if the muscles deep in your hips and inner thighs stay tight or inactive, lymph fluid can stagnate. That's where puffiness, bloating, and that stuck feeling often come from. A simple daily movement can help these fluids flow again, but most of us were never taught how. Then there's the pelvic floor, a hammock of muscles supporting the bladder, bowel, and reproductive organs. Pregnancy, hormonal changes, weight fluctuations, and simply years of living can weaken or stiffen this area. When the pelvic floor loses tone or becomes imbalanced, it can create subtle pressure, frequent bathroom trips, or discomfort that people rarely talk about but often feel. Lastly, your posture and spine evolve with age. Decades of leaning forward, lifting, and adapting to life's demands can cause the pelvis to tilt slightly. A tilted pelvis changes how your lower back and hips bear weight, often showing up as stiffness, sciatica-like pain, or reduced mobility. None of this means your body is failing. It means it's asking for care, movement that restores circulation, eases tension, and helps these deeply connected systems work again. That's why a gentle, targeted exercise can feel surprisingly powerful. It doesn't fight aging. It supports the natural wisdom of your body so you can keep moving, resting, and living with comfort and confidence. Meet the butterfly stretch. Now that you understand why your hips, legs, and lower back may feel heavier or more tense after 50, let's talk about one of the simplest ways to bring relief, the butterfly stretch. At first glance, it's almost too simple to seem important, but don't let its softness fool you. This gentle movement wakes up muscles most of us haven't used properly in decades and sets off a chain reaction that benefits your circulation, pelvic floor, and posture. The butterfly starts from a position your body already knows. Sit on a firm surface. The floor works well, but a folded blanket or cushion is even better, especially if your lower back tends to round or your hips feel tight. Bring the soles of your feet together so that your knees naturally fall outward, like wings opening. No need to push them down. Just let gravity do what it's meant to do. Place your hands lightly around your feet or ankles and lengthen your spine gently upward. Think about growing tall rather than forcing a straight back. From here, the magic is in the motion. Begin softly fluttering your knees up and down. Tiny, smooth movements, almost like your legs are breathing. You're not bouncing or straining. Imagine a calm ocean wave. Each flutter is helping the inner thigh muscles, your adductors, come alive, opening space through the pelvis and inviting blood and lymph fluid to move again. As you flutter, breathe deeply. Inhale gently, then exhale long and slow, as if fogging a window. That extended exhale tells your nervous system, we're safe. You can release. Not comfortable on the floor? The butterfly has friendly variations. You can sit on a sturdy chair, bring the edges of your feet together under you, and let your knees drift apart slightly while you breathe. Or try the reclined version. Lie on your back, bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees open, and simply rest. Add small knee pulses if it feels good. Place pillows under your thighs for support. Comfort is key. This exercise doesn't require flexibility or strength. It meets you exactly where you are. What matters is consistency. A few minutes every day, not perfection. Over time, the butterfly stretch can become more than movement. It's a signal to your entire lower body that life can flow again. It's an act of softness that carries real power, the power to restore ease where things have been tight and heavy for too long. Deep benefits of the butterfly stretch. When you first try the butterfly stretch, it might feel like you're just sitting there. But inside your body, an incredible chain reaction begins. This one quiet movement touches many systems at once: circulation, pelvic floor health, back comfort, posture, and even your emotional well-being. Let's walk through how this happens, so you understand why something so gentle can create such big changes. The first gift is better blood and lymph flow. The inner thigh muscles you're waking up act like hidden highways. When those muscles soften and start to move, they open pathways that let fresh, oxygen-rich blood reach the pelvis and legs again. That means heavy legs feel lighter, swelling and puffiness decrease, and the tissues in your lower body breathe. At the same time, lymph, your body's natural detox and immune fluid, gets a push it normally doesn't have. Since lymph has no pump of its own, every flutter helps move out waste and inflammation. Next is pelvic and bladder support. So many women silently struggle with urgency, leakage, and nighttime bathroom trips, yet it's rarely discussed. The butterfly helps because it realigns and gently activates the adductors and surrounding pelvic structures. When these muscles are balanced and nourished, they stop tugging on the ligaments that hold the bladder and other pelvic organs. Over time, that means less downward pressure, better control, and a calmer, steadier pelvic floor. Then there's relief for your hips and lower back. Think of the pelvis as the foundation of your spine. When tight inner thighs tilt or twist that foundation, your lower back tries to compensate, leading to discomfort or that stuck feeling when you stand or walk. The butterfly gives your pelvis room to find its neutral again. As alignment improves, your spine no longer has to fight to stay upright. Many women notice less hip stiffness and smoother, freer movement in daily life after only a couple of weeks. And something beautiful happens beyond the physical: emotional release and nervous system calm. Your pelvic region is often where stress, worry, and old tension collect. Moving slowly and pairing it with long exhales flips your body's fight or flight switch to rest and restore. Women describe feeling unexpectedly peaceful, sometimes tearful, after this practice, not because something's wrong, but because something stuck is finally letting go. Finally, posture and confidence begin to return. A balanced pelvis means your spine can stack naturally, your chest opens, and your breath deepens. You stand taller without forcing it. Over time, this small daily act can make you feel more at ease in your body and more present in your own life. How to practice safely. Now that you know what the butterfly stretch can do, let's talk about how to practice it in a way that is safe, gentle, and truly restorative. This is not about forcing flexibility or pushing through pain. The magic comes from comfort and consistency, meeting your body where it is today, not where you think it should be. Start by choosing the version of the butterfly that feels natural for you. If you're comfortable on the floor, sit on a firm but supportive surface like a yoga mat or a folded blanket. The extra lift under your hips tips your pelvis slightly forward and helps protect the lower back. Bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees fall gently outward. Don't worry if they're high in the air. That's normal at first. Place your hands lightly around your feet or ankles, or simply let them rest on your thighs. Once you're settled, lengthen your spine upward. Imagine a string gently pulling from the crown of your head while your shoulders soften and your jaw relaxes. Begin the butterfly motion by slowly fluttering your knees. Tiny, smooth up and down movements, almost like a slow breath for your legs. Keep it gentle. The movement should feel easy, not forced. While you move, breathe deeply. Inhale softly through your nose, then exhale longer than your inhale. A slow sigh out of the mouth or nose. Aim for 30 to 50 flutters, then pause and rest. Even 1 to 2 minutes is enough to start. If sitting on the floor isn't comfortable, try the reclined version. Lie on your back, bring the soles of your feet together, and let your knees fall open. Place pillows or folded blankets under each outer thigh so there's no strain. Rest your hands on your belly and heart, and simply breathe. You can add micro pulses with the knees if it feels good. But stillness alone is powerful here. Another option is the chair-assisted version. Sit toward the edge of a sturdy chair, bring the insides of your feet together under you, and let your knees open slightly outward. Keep your spine tall and imagine your knees breathing open on each exhale. This variation is wonderful if getting to the floor isn't practical or if balance is an issue. Above all, listen to your body. You should feel gentle opening and warmth, never sharp pain or pulling. Use as much support as needed and stop if you feel tingling, numbness, or discomfort that doesn't fade quickly. Over time, your range will naturally increase without forcing. Safety checks. When to skip or adjust. One of the most loving things you can do for your body is to know when to pause or adapt. While the butterfly stretch is gentle and safe for most women, there are certain situations where caution is wise. Think of this section as your safety net, not to scare you, but to empower you to make choices that honor your unique body. First, if you've had recent pelvic or abdominal surgery, give yourself time to heal before trying this movement. Even though the butterfly is soft, it still asks the inner thigh and pelvic muscles to open and shift. Fresh surgical sites or healing tissues need stability and rest before gentle mobility work. When in doubt, ask your surgeon or physical therapist if you're cleared for light hip opening exercises. If you're living with severe osteoporosis or have a history of bone fragility, you'll want to approach hip opening positions carefully. The butterfly itself isn't high impact, but it does place your hips and pelvis in a wide position. People with advanced osteoporosis should check with their healthcare provider or consider the chair-assisted version, where movement is minimal and highly supported. Anyone with a history of blood clots or vascular issues in the legs should consult a doctor before doing sustained hip openers. Because the butterfly influences circulation and lymph flow, it's best to ensure no underlying risk before you add this into your routine. Pay attention too if you have acute hip or groin pain. Pain is the body's request for caution. If you feel sharpness, catching, or instability, don't try to push through. Instead, choose the reclined variation with strong pillow support or skip the exercise until your pain is assessed. The butterfly should feel soothing, never alarming. Balance and safety matter as well. If sitting low to the ground feels unstable, or if you've had recent falls, use the chair-assisted option or skip the movement until you feel confident and secure. Safety and comfort are always more important than form. And remember, this isn't a no pain, no gain practice. Your body thrives on safety cues. If something feels off, tingling in the feet, numbness, or strain in the knees, stop, readjust your position, add support, or shorten your session. Over time, as your body adapts, you may expand your range naturally.
When in doubt, especially if you have complex medical conditions or multiple concerns, get clearance from a trusted healthcare provider or pelvic health specialist. Think of this as partnering with your body's story rather than rushing its pace.
As we come to the end of this journey together, pause for a moment and notice how different your body already feels, even if all you did was imagine the butterfly stretch while listening. Sometimes simply paying attention is the first act of healing. The truth is, our bodies have been faithfully carrying us for decades. They've climbed stairs, lifted children, worked long hours, and held space for our joys and losses. But somewhere along the way, we stop listening to the quiet whispers that say, I need softness, I need breath, I need space. The butterfly stretch is more than an exercise. It's a conversation with yourself. Every gentle flutter says, I am willing to care for me. Every long exhale tells your nervous system, it's safe now. And every time you take a few minutes to move and breathe this way, you're giving your lower body, your hips, back, bladder, and pelvis permission to work the way they were designed to, strong, supported, and alive. You don't have to master this overnight. In fact, the power of this ritual lies in its simplicity and consistency. 1 minute a day can lead to surprising results. Over weeks, you might find your legs feel lighter when you stand. Your hips may be less stiff after sitting. Bathroom trips at night could reduce. You might even feel calmer, as if a weight you didn't know you were carrying has started to lift. These small changes build momentum and remind you that aging is not about decline. It's about becoming more attuned to your own needs. If you decide to bring the butterfly stretch into your life, think of it as a gift, not a task. Light a candle, play soft music, or simply breathe in the quiet of early morning. Make it personal and meaningful. This isn't about doing another workout. It's about returning to yourself, one small, gentle motion at a time. And if this practice spoke to you today, I invite you to share your experience. Comment below and tell us. How did your body feel? Did you notice release, warmth, or a sense of peace? Your story could encourage another woman who's searching for hope and relief. Finally, don't keep this wisdom to yourself. Share this video with a sister, friend, or neighbor who deserves to feel light and free in her own body. And subscribe to Elderly and Wise so we can keep walking together on this journey, exploring ways to move better, age with confidence, and nurture the body that carries your beautiful, wise spirit every day.